So I have nostalgic memories of this auditorium and this university. It reminds me of my uni days. Now, a lot of these memories actually make me want to be a uni student again, believe it or not. But there are certain things that I certainly do not miss. Now, who remembers being at school or uni and being stuck with doing these horrible things called group work? Now, this is where you would get stuck with a bunch of people and be tasked with doing something for your grades. And it's meant to teach you about teamwork and working together to, achieve great outcomes. But what happens in that? Not everyone does their bit, and all of a sudden, the work just becomes more, and the group kind of just becomes smaller and smaller, and you end up having to do everything. I could not get inspired by this. I could not get inspired and work out how to make this work. Look, I want to tell you, I tried being inspired. I read up on Facebook and Twitter, and I looked up quotes on teamwork and leadership, things like where people would say great things like, "Together, everyone achieves more." I even tried listening to TEDTalks. Okay, that was just me procrastinating. But I really could not figure out how to make group work work. But I'm glad and blessed to have had opportunities in real life that confronts me day in and day out of the self-evident truth that nothing is made better in isolation. A lot of you may know this very cool guy called Kofi Annan. And he once said, "When you see something that is wrong, no matter how big or small the problem is, think about who else would want to change this. Work together with others who share your conviction." Take a moment now and think about one thing in the world around you that you would like to see changed. I'm sure each and every one of us has that at least one change that you want to see, at least that one idea, big or small. It could be an idea to do something a little bit differently, or could be an idea for something fresh and new. So we have these great visions, but how do we make it work? How do we make them reality? The quote from Kofi Annan played out to me in reality for the first time when I was in high school. I remember in this particular school, the students had an issue that really annoyed them. It was a simple one. It had something to do with getting from school back home. It was something to do with having a really inconvenient bus timetable changed so that it allowed enough time to get home. So we tried. Students got annoyed. They talked to their teachers, they told the principal, they even spoke to the bus department. For a whole year, nothing happened. But then we had this great idea. How about we work together? How about we pull together our resources, our contacts, our shared passion to make this work? And when we united our voices, people listened. We worked together in little groups like the Student Representative Council or the Youth Roundtable. And finally, on the day of our graduation, we got called into a meeting and we were told, "Guess what, guys? We've listened to you. We know it is inconvenient for students. We'll give you a new bus timetable. Gives you enough time to get home." Yeah, today's the last day at school. But it was not too little too late, because the next year, when I was at uni, and apparently I was mature enough to drive around my dad's old car at that time. I did not need the bus. But driving around that area and seeing that particular bus come at a later time to pick up the students and take them home, it was exhilarating. We made something happen. Something small, but we made it happen. And it got me thinking, if a group of school kids can get together and make something reality, how much more can we achieve if a bigger group of young people united to make ideas reality? I remember a few years ago now, I was at this youth forum. It was a small, humble youth forum. A group of young people from around Darwin got together and we discussed things like what we loved about Darwin, what could be made a little bit differently. The outcome was the formation of this group called Multicultural Youth NT, or as we affectionately call it, MyNT. Over the last 6 years, I've been inspired day in and day out by the efforts the young people at MyNT put to make ideas reality. And it works. Now, when people unite in common causes, we achieve something greater than just ideas becoming reality. When people from different backgrounds, all walks of life, all have this one issue that they want to change or want to work on, something special happens. All barriers get broken down. It is the journey that we value. A wise and creative friend of mine sometimes refers to MyNT as a box of crayons. It's cliché, yes, but a box of crayons. We all have our true colors, our skills, our different experiences, our different talents. But together we fit neatly into this one box, and together we paint this beautiful picture. As we all know, though, teams do not always work out. Sometimes there are times when it becomes more work than much of a group. There are times when things get frustrating. And we've had those times. We've learned from those lessons. And let me share with you a few things that we have learned once you have shared your idea and begin to work in a team. Create a multicolored team. What that means is that find people who are good at things that you are not. Pull together these different colors, that is our skills, our talents, our experience. Not everyone is good at everything, and we all know this. And I know that I would be nowhere if I didn't have friends, colleagues, and family who are good at things like time management, organizational skills, and a whole lot of other things. Create that multicultural team, but also a multicolored team. Once you've got that team, that colorful team of yours, use the right colors. Now, this is code for what you would usually refer to as skill-based delegation. Now, I think delegation is one of the hardest parts to learn in leadership. Why is that? Because delegation, by definition, is simply getting someone else to do something for you. It cannot be that hard, right? But it is. When you think about it that way, it is. Delegation is really about giving someone the opportunity to do the things that they love and the things that they are good at. And I can tell you, it creates a much happier and much more productive team when people are doing the things that they love. Finally, remember to share the canvas. When you embark on this idea that you want to make reality, you take it on board, you jump on it, it becomes your baby, you want to protect it, you want to own it. Fair enough. It was your idea, right? Always remember, though, the picture that you're about to paint is bigger than you. You're just a crayon. You've got to let others share it. Share the burden, share the joys, share the ownership. I remember when at MyNT, after our first year of operations, we were struggling. We had no resources, no money. We had people drop off. All we had was a handful of members. But let me tell you, the commitment and effort that went on in that small group over the next 8 months to rebuild this group was phenomenal. There was more group work than I had ever experienced in group work. And the reason? We all shared this ownership of MyNT. And there was no way that we were going to leave this picture of ours unpainted or half-painted. Remember to share the canvas. When you have this idea to make something happen, chances are you're not the only one. Find those other people. Work together with them. Bring your own colors to it. If someone is already doing something and trying to achieve that same goal, work together. Bring your own colors to it and paint a better picture. Do you remember to share your idea? Remember to create a multicolored team. Use the right colors. Share the canvas and paint that strikingly beautiful picture that is on your mind right now. Because together, everyone can achieve more. Thank you.